All right, my friends, after 7 months, we have our RV back. It has been a long journey of us not having this because of warranty repairs. Dig into all the details later. I'm still waiting for some photos to be sent to me of what was repaired, and we'll dig into all that after I get the pictures. But for right now, I need to get my RV turned around and backed up to my cabin over here, because over my right shoulder, I have an RV plug and some water and all that stuff. We can back this RV into that flat spot, plenty big enough, and then be able to hook it up and make sure everything's okay and start cleaning it up. And then we'll get into some videos on some changes I have planned to this RV in terms of just little things. But what I need to do is I have this area that I need to turn a 40-foot fifth wheel around in. So started moving pallets the other day. Going to take another load of pallets up to the top of the hill. Need to move the disc harrow I haven't talked about yet. Need to move the tough cut. So we got lots of neatas, and only way we're ever gonna get any of the neatas done is if we start on them. So let's get started on moving some of the stuff. We'll take our, as Sawing with Sandy calls it, good channel if you're into people that like to mess with sawmills, but we'll take our sludge, as he calls it. Interesting term. He must have his thicker than me. Put that down and start putting pallets in the side-by-side, get those out of the way first, and then we'll just, I don't know, we'll find a place to put the disc harrow. I got uses for it, and we'll talk about the disc harrow someday. Let's get busy. All right, first batch loaded. So I'm going to go take this up, come back for batch number 2. These pallets that the camera's on are the best pallets. I'm not sure I want to take all these up to the top of the hill, put them beside the shipping container, but I don't know where else to put them. We're going to move this pile of pallets as well. Just keep them all together up top. I can't find a better place to let them sit. So the good pallets last. And I don't know what plans we have, but maybe I'll leave a couple down here somewhere. Well, I guess I'll have the ones the harrow's on. Put one more. It's stacked kind of high. Yeah, we'll hold it and see. I'm going to cross my fingers. All right, now that the pallets are moved, we're going to grab the tractor. Just front end loader, move the disc harrow somewhere. Not sure where, but we'll figure it out. I've never used a disc harrow, never hooked up a disc harrow. Obviously, we got our 2 lower arms here, and then all this fence wire, barbless wire, whatever you want to call it, is holding together my third arm. Well, not third arm, but where the third arm is going to attach to. But we're not going to figure this out right now because we got other things to do before the rain comes back. So we're going to use the front end loader the same way we pulled it out of the truck. We're going to chain this thing up in a couple spots, lift it up enough I can drive it somewhere. That's probably more challenging than figuring out how to change this up, is where do we put it. All right, I have 3 points of contact on the tractor, 4 points of contact on the harrow. It is getting some gravel on it that I was using for the chicken coop build, but that's okay. We're getting more rain for the next 2 days. Ha! That's actually really sturdy. All right, I'm going to take this up the top of the hill since it's that locked in. And then we'll have 2 more pallets. Oh well, we're not going to use this for several months because I want to use this to repair hog damage. Ventrac was, it's okay for that, but it's just not getting the job done for the quantity of hog damage I have. So we'll see this again in the distant future. All right, well that went better than planned. So the disc harrow is out of the way till we need it in the fall. And we're in spring now. So last thing is the tough cut for the Ventrac. Now I need to go drop the power rake somewhere. Just so happens I have 2 pallets. So we're going to find a place for the power rake and the tough cut on 2 pallets side by side. Now we have a bunch of room to move around. So if you go to the front of where my truck is, and we just take this view, I'm probably going to back up a little to get more elbow room so I can swing further to the right, up, and we're going to see if this is a 3 or 30 point turn. Obviously I can't kill my wife's bushes we just planted, flowering shrubs, and I'm going to have to be careful because it's very soupy. I was originally going to plan on using my hillside there a little bit with the truck to get a little, 5 extra feet, but it is very soupy. So now we need to figure out how to turn this beast around in this little area without getting stuck in the mud. And because I've given you guys plenty of opportunity to laugh at me in the past in other videos, you are not going to observe me trying to turn this thing around. We'll save Becky-uppy videos for another time whenever it's warmer and not quite so cold and wet. So I will see you all when this is done. I will time myself and at least say it took, we'll give you a quasi-accurate number, minutes. And there you go. RV backed in, figured out, turned around. I could have done better at that. Could have done a whole lot worse. Grand total, realistically, it took about 30 minutes to turn around. You can see on my drive over here, well, maybe it's sprinkling. Everything's muddy, but I did have to pull the truck quite a ways. I got the back tires down here. Front tires went up about that high. And it was more than a 3 point turn. And then this pile of my fines that has been here, you can see I did run over my pile of fines, and then to where I got to where I could finally do a full swing around, drive down, and then back up. Now, what took the most time was getting it level, finding a spot in my driveway that was level for this thing to sit. My driveway is, I know it's not perfectly flat up here, but it's less flat than I thought. I wanted the RV initially over here because my power is right there. And I'm going to have to drag the power all the way around because utility side is driver side. But the driveway, the way it slopes down and forward, I kept getting aired out on my auto level because the jacks were extending too far. With the truck right here and the RV back there, it just wasn't working. But in the grand scheme of things, it's probably better that the RV is on the other side, because by the time we fold the steps down, we have more room to walk. If I would have put it where I originally had it, which was right here along the edge of the grass, the steps would have been over here somewhere and we'd had to walk in the weeds to get up the steps. So grand scheme of things, it works better that it's here. It is a tall beast. But my RV is finally home. I will get the power connected and we will start talking about this Grand Design Solitude. It's a 3740 BH. I got some work I need to do on it. A little concerned about hail. So I've been reading up on hail damage and how do we protect against that, because we have none right now. We have been looking at new roofs for this thing, but I don't want to put one on yet. There's one I'm going to get that is kind of like tough liner for a bed. What do I call it? Rhino liner, but there's another name for it. But I don't want to get that just yet. Postpone as long as we can. So what I'm thinking is we're going to run to town, and one of the things I read was if we put 4x8 sheets of like the 1/2-inch styrofoam insulation panels on top, and then just wrap a tarp over the whole thing. You just take a tarp up, over, down the whole enchilada to hold those styrofoam panels from blowing away. Then when we see hail's coming, set that up. We can lasso the tarp on the bottom, maybe bungee the tarp. We already have the tarp. We don't have the panels. We're going to need panels anyway, because one of the things we're going to do, RVs are very bad for staying warm and cold. Warm in cold weather and cold in warm weather. So we're going to be doing some DIY hacks at making it more insulated. This is supposed to be 4-season, but it still gets cold. Just the nature of the beast. It's an RV. So now that it's here, I'm going to go take the hitch out of the truck and we can go to town in the rain and get us 40-foot 4x8 sheets. We'll get us 10 sheets of the insulated material. And yes, it's a lot, but I always have use for that. I can put it in the pole barn to help insulate the walls around the well house and whatnot. I do need like 5 sheets, 6 sheets for the chicken coop build that I have several days recorded that I will be posting shortly. Starting to post shortly. So I always have need for insulated material, and 10 sheets is not too much. And styrofoam, right? It's styrofoam silverback. It ain't going to go bad. All right, my friends, RV here. And we can now start talking about work on this thing on top of everything else we got going on.